Hello, it is 1 week after I finished my my cycle ride. I'm gone for a bike ride today for the first time to see, brush old cobwebs down, and yeah, my legs are a bit achy. I've come up to just above a little place called Albondon, way down the valley. You can see white blobs. They are greenhouses where they're growing fruit, and a little bit beyond that you can see the sea, but as you can also see I'm above the cloud line at the moment. So I don't know how far I've come up today, but it's a nice, as you can probably see, it's a nice warm up for getting to riding again. New top. Woo! Anyway, this is kind of like the epilogue, kind of summarizing kind of my trip and my training. Now, most people who know me closely know how little I train for this, and I did that quite deliberately. People saying you've got to do this, got to do that, you've got to make sure you're getting in 80 miles a week, going up to 100 miles a week, 150 and 200 miles a week leading up to the ride. The way I figured it, it's only pedalling, and on my Garmin I think I did 14 cycle rides in 8 months, or was it 9 months? September till June, beginning of June, of which 5 or 6 were in Spain in April. So I really didn't do much training at all. I went down the gym 4 times I think, and as usual found it incredibly boring, so stuff that. But I didn't really want to go out in the cold, didn't want to go out in the raining, didn't really want, it's just, so yeah, I really did very minimal training. Food wise, I ate nothing special. I ate normally. I think I had a curry the night before I left to actually go on the trip. So yeah, I was probably the worst prepared person. And of course, most of you will know I also changed my saddle at the last minute, which made a lot of people frown and go, uh-oh. But the way I figured it all along was it's only pedalling, it's only cycling, and it's a battle of willpower most of the time. Now I accept that when I was much, much younger, I was very, very fit, and I did a lot of sports, so I suspect my core strength was always very, very good. However, I really don't do much sport anymore, certainly not much cycling. Well, I figured I'd just get fit as I went along, and sure enough, got down to Spain really with no problems at all. The only thing, of course, I changed was the fact that I didn't like the idea of not being able to stop and see places. So, in hindsight, that was still the right decision to make, because it meant I could bimble through the cities and have a look and stop and chill out and all the rest of it. So I still maintain it was the right thing to do. However, certainly by the end, I felt not a problem at all, doing 150, 160 kilometers a day. So that was the fitness and diet. Awesome. There are a few things I wish I could have done. There's a few things I wish I hadn't have done. One of the Greenway in Spain really wasn't as good as I was hoping. A bit of a disappointment. But that's part of the adventure. France was the best surprise. Having now gone down the Loire, I have to go back and do that again, spend more time there at a slower pace. There are a lot of cyclists there doing no more than 30 or 40 kilometres a day, but chilling out to the cafes and the vineyards and the chateaux and mooching around, where of course I was thundering through them. So I want to spend a lot more time there. The Mediterranean in France is still the Mediterranean in France, very, very touristy. It's what it is, isn't it, really? Spain, love Spain, really love the people. Catalonians are a little bit too Catalonian for my liking, and a little bit too touristy, take your money. And I know I accept that tourist areas will always want to take your money, but you know what I mean. And I do love southern Spain. People are far more real and honest and down to earth and just get on with life and have a good time, which is why I love the area. What did I miss? Well, I really wish I'd done Germany. Really wish I'd hit the Alps. The French roads are definitely more forgiving than the Spanish roads. The Spanish go, if it needs to be steep, it'll be steep, and if it gets too steep, then we'll just put a tunnel there. the French will just keep going loops and loops and loops and gradually go up. So there are more forgiving people on the roads. But yeah, I wish I'd done the Alps. I really do now. But of course, time is time. I didn't have enough time. So I suspect that's going to be another trip I'm going to do. But I also need to do that on the motorbike. So yes, all in all, probably the least prepared, and quite deliberately the least prepared person. I wanted to go out and prove that actually, oh, Marimar! Look, there's Marimar! Hello, Marimar! Ooh. Or is that somebody taking it for a test drive? Should we walk over to the road? Because they're turning around. Dum 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 dum. Let's have a look. Well, that wasn't Marimar. I guess that was a garage person. Marimar had a car problem. Anyway, enough of that. So yes, I was deliberately the least prepared, and I wanted to prove a point that actually willpower alone, you can achieve stuff if you want to do it. I don't really like hearing people say, oh, I can't do that because of this, that and the other. I accept that there's always going to be some people who just physically can't do stuff, whether it be an exercise thing or a mental thing or a whatever thing, because of certain whole drawbacks. But ultimately, I'm not fit enough to be a cyclist. I'm not a cyclist, but I did it, and it's just called getting on and doing it. So people who make excuses, don't, because I did it. I've just ridden across 3 countries over 7 weeks, doing more miles a day than I've ever done in one day, let alone consecutively for that amount of time. And in temperatures exceeding 40 degrees, hitting 40, 44 degrees, day in, day out. It can be done. Everybody can do it. And everybody who knows me knows I really didn't train for it. So it's a big world out there. Let's do something, eh? Right. Anyway, it's me waffling. Really enjoyable. Next trip, who knows what I'm going to do next? It might involve a kayak. It might involve a big river in Europe, and it might involve doing a lot of it. Who knows? I guess I need to look at finances and save up the money and get permission. And well, it's a long time. Anyway, I will leave you all. Thank you everybody for donating. Get out there and do something new, because life is way too short. I'm not kidding, it really is. Bye.